Today we're going to be working on my 2003 SL500 because it has a serious problem. Now I just got this car back from the dealer because the brakes completely failed on me while I was driving. Now the guys over at Mercedes were kind enough to do a free multi-point inspection on the car, and what a coincidence, they happened to have found about $7,000 worth of things wrong with this car. Now normally I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to anything that the dealer tells me is wrong with my car, but this time they were actually right. They quoted me over $2,000 to replace the front lower control arms on the car because it is causing abnormal wear on the tires. And it turns out that $2,000 problem can be fixed for just 30 bucks, and all you gotta do is replace the bushing and not actually the entire control arm, which is what we're gonna be doing today. So the first thing I did was jack up the car from the rear jack pad. This way I had enough room to put a jack stand in the front. Mercedes is just weird like that. And then I could take the tire off and put it under the car for safety. So with the tire off, I can show you what it is that we're after. And it's all the way back here, right there. And there's two ways we can go around getting this, and I'm gonna show you both. So the first method that we're gonna be doing is going to be using this Vevor 12-ton shop press to press out the bushing and press a new one in. But in order to do that, we have to actually get the control arm off the car, which is a whole game within itself. Now, even though this method might be the easiest method when it comes to pressing out bushings, I understand that not everybody has the space to maybe get a shop press, and that's why I'm gonna be showing you a second method, which involves using a ball joint press with all these cups. Now, this one is the Snap-on knockoff from Harbor Freight. It's the Icon version. I got this for about 180 bucks using a coupon, but you don't have to get this exact set. There are cheaper ones like the Maddox or even ones on Amazon, which I'll link in the description for you guys to pick up. And the cool thing about using this method is you don't even have to take the control arm off the car. We can do all the pressing while it's still mounted on the suspension. Now, in order to get this lower control arm out, we're gonna have to get this strut unmounted from the bolt right here. And in order to press that out, since it is a ball joint and they tend to get seized, we're gonna be using this Astro low profile ball joint separator, which I'll also have linked down in the description. I really did think that the ball joint separator would work, but you'll soon see in a second why it doesn't. I wasted my time undoing the tie rod and using a different separator, as these ball joints on Mercedes get seized so freaking bad, there's literally no other way to get them off. Next, I attempted to take the strut assembly ball joint out using the separator, and as you can see, it is so tight that the tool just keeps walking itself off. I even tried hitting it a bit, and it still wouldn't budge. Now, since I'm trying to reuse this ball joint, I don't want to mushroom the threads, otherwise I'd just pound it out. Luckily, I found a different method online, and boy, was it a lifesaver. Just wedge a chisel on one side to keep the joint from moving, and then pound another one in on the other side, being careful not to puncture the rubber, and watch the magic happen. There we go. Wow, that was easy. Then just undo the top bolt on the control arm and use a ball joint separator on the front of the control arm, and you're out. I'll make sure to put links to this separator down in the description, but I got this one specifically at Harbor Freight for around 20 bucks. Finally, holy cow. So the next thing that we're gonna try to do is get these plates off, and then we'll be able to push out that bearing. Now, as you can see, the new part is right over here, and we have the new bushing that will go in here, and then we also have these new washers or covers that we will press on. That's not the hard part. The hard part is figuring out how to get them off. Now, off the car is much easier. Wow, you can even see how destroyed they are on the inside there. We're gonna either A, try to press them off like this, or B, I wanna try this other method, which is using these. They're like harmonic balancer pullers. And if I set it up just right, I might be able to just pull it off. So we're gonna try that first. So what I'm gonna do is use like an old bolt, and we're gonna try to like put this in here. And then as you can see, we're gonna like put this around that and hopefully press this bad boy off. One off. And now you can see how messed up this bushing was. Holy cow. It's like completely torn. Now we just gotta repeat it on this side too. And this is theoretically the method that you would do on the car if you didn't want to take it off. But I'm honestly starting to lean towards doing it off the car, which is gonna probably be the way we do this, but I'm just gonna show you how to do it with that and not actually the press. All right, so we got that side off pretty easily with this medium-sized one. It comes in small, medium, large. I'll link it down below, but I think we're gonna keep doing it with the large one this time. I think this would make it much easier to take on and off than using the medium one. I thought that would be the right size, but this seems to grasp it pretty well. And hopefully it'll take it off in one shot. Look at that. Heck yeah. Came right off, no problem. And now all we gotta do is just press it out. With the discs out of the way, we can finally start working on the bushing. I found the largest cup I had that would allow the bushing to fall into it. Then I grabbed a cup just big enough to press out the bushing, but not too big or too small enough to get stuck in the bushing or the control arm itself. It's pretty easy to use the wrong cup, so be careful. And look at that, it's going right out. Easy. Just like that. And as you can see, we got her clean out there. And now all we gotta do is press the new one in. Now remember to line up the bushing the same way it came out. I took a photo to remember, and then I simply pressed it straight in. This shop press makes it so easy, and I can't believe it's only like 120 bucks. It's literally half the price compared to my ball joint press kit I got from Harbor Freight. All right, so now that we have the bushing pressed in, the last step is going to be getting these kind of covers on them. Now there is a specific way you have to put these on. You can see this side is different than that side. And the way you want to do it is with this smaller dip facing out. And funny enough, at least what I'm noticing is this doesn't really fit, but if I do this way, it almost sits on perfectly. Now, this is a Lemforder with the part number 2872901-019. I got this from FCP Euro. I'll also link that down in the description. And if you guys want to pick up one of these 12-ton hydraulic jacks, they're actually pretty cheap, and to be honest, they're pretty small. I got this from Vivor, who sent this to me for this video, so I'm super grateful. Shout out to them for sending this to me. It makes very easy work of doing any sort of ball joints or bushings like this, and it's a perfect way to test it out. So I just want to show you too how we get this plate on here. You can see we are gonna rest it on that side because we're gonna push pressure that way, and we don't wanna put anything leaning on that. That's why we're not using the cups. And we are going to put Mr. Brick on here and then press her in. That actually is very convenient. I'm not really sure what these plates are for, but they were on it from factory, so we have to put them back on. Luckily, they press on pretty easy. I can only get it flush using the plate, so after I used a 32mm socket to push them down a little more, this way it would fit easy when it comes time to reassemble. Now, if any of you have a lift, you don't actually have to take the control arm off. You can just jack the rotor and the bushing will be easily accessible. I personally just would rather not lay on the floor all day.
All right, so now what we need to do is press this new one in here, and the way we're gonna line this up first to make sure we're doing this correctly. It's gonna be something like this. This seems about right. Could even turn it around. It really doesn't matter as long as it's like facing even. Wow, you can really see how bad that is. But we need to pick the correct cup now that we got these plates off, because the plates, excuse me, the plates block it. Now fits right over, easy peasy. And you don't obviously have to use this big ball joint press, but something similar, they sell it either at Vevor or at Harbor Freight. You can pick up one of these, or even Amazon. I'll link them down in the description, but this is what we'll be using to press this out. And you can get one of these. This is the cup that we're gonna press, and this fits right in here, just like this. If you want a greaser, we're gonna probably have to hold that on, but let's get her in first. Check all around, make sure it's good. And then we can just hold her, put her on here. Woo! Throwing things, but look at that. So you don't actually need a shop press to do this job. It's that simple. That's terrible. Now with this lined up correctly, we need to press this back in, but notice we got a problem. It doesn't fit. Well, luckily, hopefully, your kit has other, that was loud, has other cups like this one. And if we use this one now to line this up, we should be able to get a pretty good fit. We might have to finagle it a little bit, just like that. That looks straight. Yep. And now we're gonna do the opposite, and we're gonna push her in. All right, so only use that small one just to get it slightly started enough for the bigger one to fit, because otherwise you can see it kind of got caught just on the inner edge, and I had to hit it off with a hammer super quick, but it's just enough to get it started to show you that you don't necessarily need that if you don't have the space. And now what we can do is use the big cup to pretty much complete the job, although we have to keep doing this, which is a little annoying, and push her in the rest of the way. It's just like this. It's much easier to do this and not go too far than to go too far and have to start the whole thing over. That was loud. That looks almost good. I say just a little bit more. Yep, that looks good. Maybe a tiny bit on this side, but no, that actually looks pretty even. And now all we got to do is press on these things, and this is pretty simple. We can actually probably just whack this on with a hammer. And the last step, instead of, I'm going to try to avoid using this, but we'll use that if we have to get these rings on, I just have a brick, and we're going to put pressure on that. And remember, the outermost edge is the one that goes on there. We're kind of going to start this, and then we should be simply able to just tap this on. And then to get it fully flush, we're just going to use a socket, but you get the point. And now with this side pressed on, I used a 32. I had to go for a bigger one, 32mm. You can see this side's on. We'll just repeat it on this side here. The outermost part goes on right like that. And then just start her. And that should be good. Yeah. Perfect. So we'll just reinstall this, and I'll show you the torque specs, And it's literally that simple.
With the plates finally on, all that's left now is to reinstall the control arm back on. This is the easy part. Just put the nuts and bolts back on, and then keyword is loosely tighten everything down. Then make sure to jack up the rotor, as this puts tension on the suspension to mimic the weight of the car. This is to prevent twisting and ripping the brand new bushings if we torque them with the suspension hanging. Torque everything as best you can to around 80 Newton meters and 120 degrees. I know some of these are near impossible, so otherwise, like the Germans say, just torque them guten tight. Alrighty guys, so once you get everything torqued down or as close to it, because there's a lot of bolts that you can really only access with a wrench. Now it is suspension stuff, so you don't have to be perfect like engine work. So just get it tight and make sure to do it under tension as if the car was still on the road by jacking it up with the jack. But that's gonna be it for today's video, using the two different methods. Whether you have a shop press or you don't have room and you wanna just use a ball joint press, anyone will work with those options. But if you like this video, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. And the reason for it is this little SBC control unit right there. This controls all the braking system in the car, and they are known for failing, and Mercedes will only cover it when it does fail. How convenient. Now, I was able to get this little guy replaced completely free because it is covered by a 25-year extended warranty. Otherwise, it would have cost me probably close to $3,000 to $4,000 just in the parts alone.